time to get me on and for Facebook to say, yay, we're good to go. Well, hello, everybody. Oh, I am so excited to be back. I am so sorry, everybody, for not doing this last week. Man, my back, some of you know this, some of you don't. My back has just not been the same for this last year. I was in a bad car accident. I was thinking about, for my inner circle members, some of you guys, you could see what that accident looked like. It was pretty crazy. The person who hit me had nothing left of her car. I have to say, I do drive an Acura, and the person who was driving drove an Acura. The fact that she and her child walked away from that accident, not, neither of us totally, that we're alive, amazing. So that is a big shout out to Acura, because you should just see her car. So in any case, my back has not been the same, but I had steroid injections. I'm feeling so much better. Oh, thank goodness. I am so excited. I am sitting on ice right now, so I'm really, little by little, just getting myself back in the game here. But I'm so happy to be with you, so thank you so much for that. Also, those of you who have taken the 30-day challenge, I am collecting results, so I'm excited. I'll be able to share with all of you the results from the 30-day challenge. We'll be doing your bonus call to, I believe, what's today? On Thursday. So that's awesome tomorrow. So I will have those results for everybody, because this 30-day challenge crew, you guys rocked it out of the house, like always. What a great group of women. I'm so grateful to do it. And so those awesome updates. Now, today, I want to talk to you about what just happened and what I've learned about it and what it means for you and your body. Hello, Lee. Hello, Karen. Hello, Miss Barbara. So happy to see all of you here. Hello, Miss Paula. Are you new to me? I'm so excited to see a new face. I love that. Welcome. You are with some other amazing women. So super happy. If you're a first timer, I always love for you to be like, shout out first time with Marna. So excited to have you. All right. So here's a few things. So last night, it was very interesting last night that I had. All of a sudden, I was talking to my husband, and I'm like, it was the afternoon, and I said, oh my gosh, why is it so hot in here? And he's like, I don't know. And we both have one of those kind of cool things on our phone where we can check the thermostat. And we're like, it says it is 82 degrees in here. What is going on? And I was like, oh no, it's 82 degrees. What are we going to do? So I want to tell you, so our air conditioning totally went out last night. And it was 100 degrees here in Colorado. Some of you think Coloradans just have cold weather. Not true. We get hot weather here. Super hot. So I want to talk to you about 4 lessons that I learned and how they relate to weight loss. I promise there is a method to my madness here today. So one of the things that I'm seeing a lot is that first is one of the things that I did when I realized that our air conditioning was out was I asked my neighbors for help. I said, neighbors next door, my sister's across the street, but I actually didn't ask her for help. I asked my other neighbors, I said, listen, do you guys have any fans? And they said, yeah. And so my neighbor brought this giant, beautiful fan over to us, and we slept in the basement last night, all 4 of us and the dog, and we put on this fan, and we were so much more comfortable. One of the things that some of you do is, and you will notice this in yourself, is you don't ask for help. And when it comes to weight loss, how many of you are not asking for help and support in the area of your body and your weight? You're not asking, and you're not requesting that your needs be met. And this happens a lot to me. I'm real stubborn. I don't like to ask for help a lot. But I can tell you the difference between not having this giant, beautiful, wonderful fan versus having it. It would have been that I wouldn't have gotten any sleep last night. We would have been dripping in sweat. And so when it comes to weight loss, are you asking for help? And here's what I mean by that. One, are you asking for help like at the end of the day with cooking with your family? Or are you asking for help with like chopping up vegetables or things that you want and need help with? Are you asking for help around helping making dinner or helping with thinking of ideas to make? Are you asking for help saying, hey, I really want to eat in alignment with my body, so can we eat a little bit later? I want you to think about, are you asking for help and support, not in an obnoxious way, not in a, do everything for me, but having your family and support networks helping you lose weight comes from asking for help. Are you also, when you get stuck, are you asking for help inside of here, inside of the inner circle? Are you asking for help from me, from other people, from coaches, mentors? Are you asking for help, or are you living inside of being stuck? Because sometimes hanging out in that stuck place without asking for help or sharing yourself and sharing what you need, all of a sudden somebody can answer it like that. Somebody's able to see something that you haven't seen in years. It happens to me almost on a daily basis that I'll have a client or somebody who says to me, Marna, oh my God, I never even thought of it that way. And they're like, that wasn't that hard. I'm like, I know. It's not that I'm brilliant. It's just that you saying this to me, I could see the patterns. I can connect the dots. So are you sharing your struggles, your needs, you're asking for support? That's number one. Number two, the other thing I didn't do yesterday is I didn't panic. I didn't go, oh my God, oh, why me? Why today? This is the worst. Woe is me. I didn't panic. One of the things that I did was we just got solution oriented. My husband was like, okay, I know a guy who works with me. Great. And he called him and he said, okay, I'll be here first thing in the morning unless you want me to come out right now. And I was like, no. It was going to be a headache for this guy. I was like, no, it's fine. It's fine. We'll see you in the morning. And we didn't panic. We got solution oriented. How many of you are getting solution oriented when it comes to the struggles you're having with your body and your weight? And when I say solution oriented, I mean, this is a biggie, and you might want to write it down. Solution oriented, when I look at people who have lost over 30 to 100 pounds, in that range, obviously upwards of 100 pounds and more, but at least over 30 pounds and kept it off, they are absolutely 100% solution oriented in their way of relating to food. They just are. They say, oh, this is a problem. How can I fix it? How? Write that in big letters. How. How. Not woe is me. Not what could, oh my God, we're not going to have air conditioning tonight. This sucks. No, I just was like, okay, how can we fix this? And what do we need to do to get help to support us? Right? It makes a big difference. How many of you, so when you think about something that you're struggling with right now, you think about something you're struggling with right now with your body or weight. Maybe it's overeating, binging, late night eating. What's going on? Are you asking how? Are you clear of how you can fix it and how you can be solution oriented in making it happen? Stop being so damn mean to yourself and forcing yourself into something. I'm seeing way too many people. In fact, I think 4 to 5 people this week alone have come to me telling me that they've been trying to lose weight. They make a mistake and then they just tell themselves inside their head that they're broken, there's something wrong with them, they're terrible, yada, yada, and that sends them onto gaining weight. Sends them out of solution-oriented mode. Solution orientation, having a solution, asking how, instead of being in this woe is me. The other thing I didn't do is I didn't play victim to the circumstance. I didn't play victim. I was like, okay, we got solution oriented. We didn't play victim. We're like, okay, let's make this happen. What do we need to do? I know it's easy I know it's easy to think about your metabolic rate, your thyroid doesn't work, you're big boned, you have different circumstances. I know. And I know they're true. I know it's unique to think of ourselves as like these unicorns, if you will, that have very unique situations why your weight loss isn't happening or why you're stuck or why you might be struggling. But you don't have to use that as your victim card, as the reason why you can't take action today. Stop it. Things happen. You gained weight. That's it. You gained weight. Don't live into the story of your weight gain. Don't keep playing that out in your head that there's something wrong with you, that there's something bad, that you can't fix it. Stop it. And let's get solution oriented. Let's get focused and don't play into that woe is me. Don't have the pity party. When you have an overeat, just get into action. Like, here's the thing. You don't have to plan when to lose weight. You don't have to say, okay, next Monday, I'm really going to take this serious. No, just do it now. Just say, okay, right now, I'm going to wait until my body feels hunger and experiences hunger right now. Don't wait. There's no reason. There's no reason to wait anymore. There's just no reason to say, I'm going to put it off, or it's going to be out here. Stop making it out here when you fall off. If you fall off, if things aren't exactly comfortable or perfect, then it's okay. They're not meant to be in the area where you struggle. They're not going to be comfortable. So stop thinking that everything is going to be comfy. You're going to have to get outside of your comfort level a little bit. Now, I'm not saying you can't do it within the conversation of it being doable for your life. It absolutely, weight loss should be doable for your life 100%. But doable and getting out of your comfort zone a little bit can go hand in hand. Right? You can be like, okay, I'm ready to put one toe in, just a little bit. I'm still hanging out in my comfort zone, but just one tiny little toe out and get in action. The other thing that I didn't dwell on, that I see people do a lot, is saying that the timing sucks. Yeah, it's 9 degrees in Denver, and I could have been totally hunker down with the timing sucks. The timing sucks that this is happening. I have a call tomorrow. I have trainings. I have things I've got to do. I'm going to be presenting. The timing sucks. Yeah, it's not great timing. It never is. And how often do we do that with weight loss? Oh, not time to lose weight yet. It's not the right time. Marna, it's just not the right time. Like somehow there's going to be this big opening, this clearing. And you're going to be able to just, oh, okay, life, here we go. Now's the time. Nothing's going to happen with your kids. Nothing's going to happen with your husband. Nothing's going to happen with work. It's just all going to be this beautiful clearing. How many times I've heard people say, it's just not the right time for me to lose weight. I'm going to tell you, there's never a good time. There's always stuff that's coming up. And here's why I know. Because the people that choose to work and move forward on their body and their weight loss, right, that work through it, stuff comes up for them all the time. We've worked with people who have been going through chemo, people who have going through dealing with and navigating hospice for a loved one. I deal with caretakers all the time. It's totally inconvenient. Teachers, nurses going through everything they're going through with COVID. It's not always, there's never really this great opening that your life brings you and says, okay, Marna, here we go. Now go forth. Now everything will be ready for you to lose weight. It doesn't work like that, right? So we have to get rid of that. Like, okay, the timing sucked. That it was 99 degrees. Would it have been better on a fall day where it was 72 degrees? Hell yeah, but it's not the way it was. So I share those things because I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about how we navigated it so beautifully inside of our family last night, and how we just made it this fun adventure. And similarly, it's like weight loss can be that fun adventure. It doesn't have to be painful. It can be this joy and this pleasure that you go, okay, I'm going to step a little bit outside my comfort zone, and all I have to do is deal with right now. And when my body wakes me up to hunger, I will eat. And when it's not hungry and I want to have food, I'm going to deal with that conversation and look at what those needs are. I'm going to look at my frustration and what the frustration is craving from me. Because it's not food, everybody. The frustration, the pain, the boredom, the loneliness, it's craving something from you, and it's not food. It just ain't food. It needs something. What does it need? The work inside losing weight is that work. I had a client yesterday who said, and I shared this a little bit on the podcast yesterday, is that she was so frustrated with the fact that she had somebody who kind of stood her up for 2 days, said he was going to come and he didn't come to do some service work. And what she did is she hovered above herself. She saw herself saying inside of her head, oh my goodness, I really, really, really want to turn to food because I'm irritated, I'm bored, and I have to stay home. So she felt out of control, which is a big trigger for many of you. She was irritated, frustrated, big trigger. And she couldn't go anywhere. She felt stuck, another big trigger. And so she saw that, and you know what she said? She said, is food going to help me navigate this? Because we've been talking so much about that. She's like, it's not. For the moment, for this momentary 1 minute, maybe 5 minutes at most, joy, I'm going to be so frustrated with myself later on, I'm not going to turn to food. And so she did the action of confronting the person who was late and said, listen, this isn't okay with me anymore. I can't do this again. Either you're here or you're not, next. She was nice. She was kind. She would have felt bad. I said, would you have felt bad? Or do you think that would have looked really different if you would have been mean to the person? She said, yeah, but I was kind. I was loving and kind, and I stated my boundary and what I needed. It comes back to asking for what you need and making sure you're getting help and that you're not playing victim to your life and that you're not saying, woe is me. And that the timing of this could have ended up terribly for her, right? She could have just, frustration, eat. No, she made a choice. She took action and she healed it. And she didn't turn to food, which could have easily turned into a binging situation and weight gain. And I share these stories because I want you to see, you might find yourself, in some of these stories and reflecting and going, yes, I get that. That is a lot like what I deal with. And so I want to now open this up to questions. Where can I support you? How can I support you? Where might you be struggling? And how can I help you navigate through any, struggle you might be having? And I want you to really think about this. I'm offering to help you. Do you need help, or are you suffering right now by yourself? I was so excited. I have a client who I worked with years ago. She lost 100 pounds, and I just heard from her, and she said, she reached out to me, and she goes, I know I should have reached out the last couple years, but I just haven't, and I just wanted to reach out to you because I need a little help with my inner dialogue. I said, okay, great. Her body, she lost 100 pounds, right? Amazing. But she's like, I need a little help with my inner dialogue. I'm still beating myself up a little too much. I need help. That's the beauty. And I was so proud of her for asking for help and for asking to just, let's do a few sessions. Let's do a little client work and let's navigate your inner dialogue. She knows how to lose weight. She's just not saying always the nicest things to herself. And we've got to work on that because she doesn't want to continue on having the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years of her life saying mean things to herself. So how can I help you Is there something you're struggling with that I can help you with that would be meaningful and helpful to you? Paula, we're so excited to have you here. A Texan, is that what I understand? That's exciting. Hello, Miss Kate. So happy to see you. Love seeing you guys. Lizzie, so fun to see you. Karen, so awesome seeing you. What questions do you have? You guys are feeling great? You feel amazing? You're ready to rock and roll? All right, Inner Circle. Many of you from my Inner Circle, I know so many of you are rocking and rolling this week. You know exactly what you're focused on. Okay, no questions. You're feeling great. You're feeling wonderful. You're feeling a can do, can be, can have. Okay, awesome. So let's just kind of reflect on, let me just kind of summarize what I want you to think about. 1, make sure you ask for help. That's a help within your house, from your partner, from your children. And some of you might be like, well, I live by myself. Yeah, you can ask for help too. From the grocer, from if you're in the Inner Circle, you can ask for help. You can ask for help if you are struggling. Don't use anything as an excuse. If you need help, ask for help. Or share your story. Share what's going on. Yeah, Karen, asking for more people for help and support will just get you feeling more comfortable. You don't have to perpetually, here's the thing, friendship should be in a way where you're giving and taking, you're listening and giving back, you're listening and giving back. But Karen, you're exactly if you have a question, you always ask me. I love that about you. I love that you're like, I have a question about this. I have a question about that. What could I do about this? You get your questions answered and you ask. Now it's a time, if you feel comfortable, start expanding that. 2, don't panic. If you see your scale start to go up, the worst thing you can do is panic and go, oh my God, I have to avoid all this food. Let's go on this massive diet. Let's take everything out of my diet. You know how many people I see every single week who come to me and tell me the same story? I intermittent fast. I took away all carbs, all fat. I did all this. And now my weight, and it was good, and I lost weight. And it was awesome. And then all of a sudden I went off of it because I couldn't stand it anymore. And then I'm up 15 pounds or 20 pounds or 30 pounds or 60 pounds or 70 pounds. Stop the panic. Don't let panic be the decision maker. It will not end up well. Don't decide from a panic mental standpoint. Decide from your grown-up brain and having a plan and a solution and looking at what the problem actually is. Oftentimes the problem isn't that it's the intermittent fasting, that you have to do that. The problem is how you're speaking to yourself, how you're relating to food, overeating, emotional eating. That's the issue. When you look at the problem of what's going on in your life and come up with a loving solution, that's where the transformation is. That's where you get to be. Okay? So that's 2. Don't panic. Get solution oriented. Number 3, don't play victim. Get into action. Lovingly look at what's going on. Don't be a victim. It is not going to get you the results you ever want. Never has anyone cried victim and been like, oh, now I have the life I want. No, because they're just crying victim about something else that's not working for them. So you have to change your inner dialogue. You have to work on that. And then 4, don't tell yourself the timing isn't right. Now is the time. The time is now to feel good about yourself, to feel good about your body, to practice these tools. Okay? Let me see if there are questions. I saw lots of posts in here. Let me go through them. Roberta, awesome. This week, your goal is to cook and eat at home most of the week. Last night, my family was not happy with the food I cook. How do you deal with that? Yeah. Were you happy with it, Roberta? That's first and foremost. Were you happy with the food that you cooked? Did it work for your body? That's first and foremost. Sometimes it's going to work like that. So here's some of the solutions that I have. So I have one kiddo. All three of us like chicken. I have one kiddo who doesn't, but he likes chicken if he can dip it into like an Asian orangey sauce. He likes orange chicken. So guess what I have? I have orange sauce for him, and that's how we can solve it. So that's how I look at it. I get into solution-oriented mindset about going, okay, is there a way? How can I have this be a situation that will work for everybody? That's how. If he doesn't like that, sorry, I'm going to make foods that work for me and my body. I hope everybody else likes them. If not, they can be in charge of cooking, okay, for themselves. This is what I'm making. Now, obviously, I'm not a total ass. Like, I'll be like, okay, I know everybody loves fruit, so there's usually fruit, and I know what they love, and I try to, of course, add those. But it's important to me to make sure that I'm getting the food that works well in my body. And everybody else who is naturally thin in my family can navigate. I'm the one who I got to manage, okay? So I hope that helps. Like sometimes it's a sauce or a dipping. I find it a lot in the sauces that help. So adding sauce, adding something that can help, it's like, oh, then it's a dipping experience for them that now my son can enjoy. My daughter, on the other hand, my son, we all like steak and red meat. My daughter won't eat red meat. She doesn't like it. So we usually make something else for her where she can have that. And it's just something, it's like a little bit of steak and a little bit of chicken, right? We'll combine it. Nobody really likes salmon except me, but I really like it. And so I make it, and then I make them something typically in addition to it. They like a lot of rice. I don't love rice as much. I love cauliflower rice. So I then add that to, so maybe like a big thing of rice for the week, big thing of noodles for the week that they can have. That doesn't work so well in my body. So I typically don't have those. I add things like roasted veggies, cauliflower rice. Last couple nights we've gone out, not had to, but I was going to be much more comfortable in air conditioning last night. And so we went out and I had a salad and they got what they wanted. I've been following you for over a week now. Thank you. And was wondering, what do you do when no one is home? No one at home is supportive. I would love, Paula, to know more about that. Like what's happening inside of nobody's being supportive. Like they're not supportive of you listening to your body. Why wouldn't somebody be supportive of you honoring your body? What's going on? Tell me more, Paula. I want to know. I love that you're actually happy in this moment, Ms. Lee, and feeling very good. I had a setback this week for, but the tools you've given us, I was able to, love it. You were able to move right through it and not denigrate yourself. Awesome. Why do we beat ourselves up in the area where we struggle? Why do we do that? We think we should know better. No, we're learning this. The more kind you are through the journey, the more you'll be able to rely on yourself for the journey. Okay? That Baby Ruth was what I needed last night. It was my first candy bar since March. I was grateful to that bar. I would have probably done better to ask my partner for help not eating it, but I'm good with my... Have a candy bar, for crying out loud. Since March, have a candy bar. There's nothing wrong with sometimes having a candy bar. We eat candy. I eat candy. Yeah. Yes, let that go. Have a candy bar sometimes. That is totally fine. What you want to watch is if that candy bar leads to more, and then you feel totally out of control. But I know you. You're not going to do that. You're going to be like, I had my candy bar. The main thing, enjoy the hell out of that candy bar. You're in a tailspin right now. Okay, so where are you having a tailspin? What's going on, Andrea? What is happening inside of your mind that's making you feel out of control. Okay? What are the thoughts? Always come back, everybody, to the thoughts. What's happening inside of your mind that's triggering you to feel out of control? Write me, share with me. Glad to be here and stay in the conversation. Christine, we're so happy to have you. We have a lot of people who are joining the inner circle who I am so excited to welcome. Christine, I am so happy you are here. It is important to stay in this conversation because this conversation of eating, thinking, living naturally thin, it's a conversation. It doesn't just like happen. You don't suddenly go from, oh, I hate my body and I hate the way I'm feeling, to going, oh, I feel so good, to getting there and losing the weight and staying in that mental framework. It takes a conversation and it takes different actions. So I'm really happy that you are here. I'm proud of yourself for not turning to food for energy or leaning on food for some of those other needs besides the physical needs of hunger. Awesome, awesome job. I still find myself forecasting at times, not in the positive place. Still need to work on that inner dialogue. Like when you mean forecasting, do you mean like, it's going to be a shitty day. It's going to be a hard day today. I'm going to really struggle with food. What does that mean? Forecasting. Tell me a little bit what you mean there. It's very challenging, right, Marna? My mom told us to make our own PB&J sandwiches. Those who complain can make dinners for everybody. It can be challenging with the whole food thing. I mean, with kids and family members. I never realized that before I had kids, I'd work with people. I'd be like, kids can't be that hard. And then I was like, oh, yeah, it can be annoying. But like the thing is let's not make it hard. Let's just be solution oriented about the situation and go, okay, if they're eating something a little bit different than me, or this is what I'm preparing, and then go have like a PB&J or whatever. Exactly. Yes, loved it, but I get stressed out when they judge it. I know. Well, so you can say, have your kids taken the class? There's this cooking class. And we say, don't yuck my yum. Don't yuck my yum. And we'll say that. We'll say, hey, don't yuck my yum. And it means like, don't hate my food that I like. I'm having a yummy experience. I'm enjoying this right now. Don't yuck my yum. It's called, I can't remember, like Sticky Fingers, something like that. It's like a cooking class for little kids, and my kids have taken it. And that's one of the sayings inside that class. Don't yuck my yum. So that's what I say. So you guys can implement that, Roberta. I'm thinking about listening to daily positive affirmations to feed the positive thoughts. I think that's a beautiful idea. Some of you were not raised hearing a lot of positive. And so you don't naturally go to it that way. And so anything that you can do to bring in those mental thoughts, whether you're going on a walk and you're listening, or you're working and you're listening, or you're painting or doing whatever in the background or working out and you're hearing these things, it helps you start to create them inside your brain. And so I'm a big, full supporter of changing to positive affirmations. Shad Helmstetter, who I went to years and years and years ago, and read his books and love his work. I don't even know if he's alive or around or anything now, but he's great. He has a lot of work around positive affirmations. And I just think, what could hurt programming your brain to hear positive sayings? Nothing. Nothing about that is going to be negative. You could do the tapping solution, that free app, and you could also tap to it if you wanted to. Okay. In the next upcoming weeks, can you talk about how to navigate the change in the seasons and the movement from summer vacation into the school for kids? Maybe you have some tips to be back in school, stress amongst. Okay. Christine, last 2 weeks ago, I think, everyone, I just did a thing on this. I just did a podcast, if you look back, on stress eating. I talked about how to navigate this with our kids. I think you'll really, really like that. Just check out that podcast. I think it was it's just 1 or 2 ago. You'll see it. I just need to ask their help on planning the meals then. Yep, exactly. Paula, not supportive of me bettering myself. Thinks I won't accomplish it. Lots of depression in my house. Okay. So Paula, when you have a partner who is not standing in the same mental framework as you of possibility and lives in negativity, what you can do is just imagine yourself being in this bubble. And you're in this bubble of positivity. And I literally will think about this. I think about sometimes when I'm around people who are negative and who just sort of kind of bring that energy down. I imagine myself in this amazing bubble and whatever. And it's have you seen those bubbles that kids go play, or not kids, you can do it too, but they go in bubble soccer and they're in this ball and they're you just have their little legs and they're running around. It's this bubble of positivity, and whatever someone says, whatever your husband says, it's just going to bounce off of you. Don't let it stick. The problem oftentimes is that we hear what somebody else's say. We let somebody else's energy stick in, and we don't have to do that. We can go, and let it bounce off us. So if you can imagine this ball of success surrounding you, it's invisible, it's loving, it's supportive, it's kind, it's amazing inside of it. It's where results happen. And then outside of it is just life. It's the news, it's pain, it's negativity, it's people who don't believe in you, don't think it's going to happen. Do you know what would have happened? I remember I was dating somebody at the time when I started my business, and I was 22 years old when I started my business. And I remember him being yeah, okay, you go for it, that. He totally did not believe it. And he didn't believe in me. And I would drag him along. I'd be I was 22. We were on the campus. He was at CSU at the time in Fort Collins, Colorado. And I would drag him and I would hang signs all over. I'd get in trouble for hanging signs. I didn't care. I plastered the school with posters and stuff. And I didn't care. I got in trouble. Oops, sorry. Kept going. Got my first client, second client, third client, fourth client. All of a sudden, I started building up this business. And he was like, whoa, I didn't think you could do it. I said, I know. And you totally were not supportive of it. And you know what? I had a bubble protecting me. I knew in my head, in my heart, that I just needed to keep going. It didn't matter what was going to be happening outside of me. So you might be in a situation where you are not in the most supportive place. I would look to have things and people around you who do lift you up, who do support you, either virtually or live, and surround yourself and reach for those people. Whether right now you're coming to these calls, amazing. Listen to my podcast. Listen to podcasts that build you up and make you feel amazing. That's this work. I don't want you to be around the naysayers. And you might be around them in physicality. You don't have to join them mentally. You might be with them in your physicality. You don't have to join them mentally. That's the journey that you're going to have to uphold. And I'm sorry you don't have the support. But how you start showing up changes how people relate to you. How you start showing up, this is for everybody. How you start showing up. When I started showing up as somebody who wasn't the yes girl for food anymore, wasn't always up for eating at any time, it changed. I wasn't like, oh, you don't want to just go out anytime and go eat, nachos at any time? No, I'm not hungry now. Oh, okay, guess what I'm teaching them? Marna has to be hungry. Oh, you want to eat this dessert? You want to keep going? You want to eat? No, I'm satisfied. Marna stopped sooner than she did. Oh, you want to go have this, whatever? Not today. I'd really like to have some really fresh green veggies. Is there a salad place we can go to? Oh, Marna sometimes likes eating salads. I had to start teaching the people around me what worked for me. Marna, do you want to go get the big sandwich? No, you know what? Bread doesn't really work for me. I'm hungry. Do they have something like wraps or something? That'll work a little bit better. Right? You start teaching people how you show up. And the more you keep showing up the way that you want to show up, and that is you, the repetition creates this new relationship and reaction inside the dynamic of your family and in those relationships. We teach people how we want to be treated. So remember that, and I hope that helps. I didn't think my family would be supportive either. Then I asked for support and got it without a second thought. And I remember, Kathy, that was scary for you, right? To ask for support. It was like, I've never done this before. Are they going to support me? And they did. Right? I've asked him to be supportive, and he pushes all the wrong foods on me, plays on my grief over losing So when you've lost a son, you're dealing with a whole dynamic of guilt and grief that is playing on top of the food. So what I'm hearing you say is you're allowing food to be somewhat of a bonding experience. Maybe I'm wrong in this, Paula. You're allowing food to be somewhat of a bonding experience for you. And so what you're going to start having to do is start bonding in other ways. And even if he throws food at you, who's the one who's eating it? It's not your husband. If you're eating it, you're doing it. He's not going, open up, Paula! Right? He's not doing that. So you're eating. But when you have significant grief like that, there's a need to join and to connect and to nurture each other and support each other and find love in loss. What I would really, really encourage you to do, and I have goosebumps, is I would really encourage you to find new ways to find some comfort and connection and start building that in. Like, it doesn't have to be this immediate, like, no, I'm not going to eat. Like, you can choose not to do that and not to have that. But what I would also encourage the two of you to do is find other ways to connect, love, and nurture each other through talking, through walking, through sharing, through even laying on your husband's lap or chest and watching TV. So building that in, okay? Because this is really, really, really important. My husband and I used to bond over being bad and eating desserts. But as soon as I got really, really committed, he just fell in line and doesn't spur me on or eat sugar anymore. See, it's like you think it's not going to happen, and all of a sudden, how you show up changes everything. It's then your family falls in line. This is so, so good. I hope it helps. So you guys are so supportive. See, that's what I'm telling you. Paula, this community is so, so loving. Elizabeth, we should start a business where we send these bubbles around. Wouldn't that be awesome? If these like invisible bubbles around, like, how do we do that, Elizabeth? That's amazing. All right, everybody. I am so grateful that you are here. I am so, so, so happy to have all of you. For those of you in the inner circle, we're going to be meeting tomorrow afternoon. I don't know. I'll send you out an email. I don't want to say. I think I said Thursday. I'm not sure. Tomorrow's Thursday. Guys, I am so out of it, like, schedule-wise, because of my back and everything. I just can't. It's like, what day is it? Where are we? What day is it? What time is it? Tomorrow. Inner circle. We are meeting tomorrow okay, hold on. Let me just kind of share this with everybody. For those of you who are not in my inner circle or anything, don't worry. I will meet you here next week at the same time. For those of you who are in my inner circle, we're going to be meeting back here. We're meeting here tomorrow at 3 o'clock on Zoom. I will send you that link. And for those of you who did the 30-day challenge, the bonus training is tomorrow at 11. That's 11 Mountain Time. And then coaching is at 3 o'clock Mountain Time tomorrow. All right? Sending y'all love. Sending you so much love. If you need anything, let me know. Reach out. Ask for support. Ask for help. Ask each other. Connect with one another. It doesn't have to be in the form of asking a coach. It can be, but it sure doesn't have to be. Let me know what I can do to support you. Keep taking care of yourself. And I'm so excited. Maybe by tomorrow I will have air conditioning that's full throttle. Bye, everybody.